Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
Before we start this episode, just want to point out that throughout we are quite harsh about the quality of the image and issues with pan and scan on this, and we subsequently realised this is down to a really bad quality DVD which we was watching. We've since found really good versions of this film on YouTube, and apparently it's streaming on Amazon. So we should have watched that, and we would have had a much better view of the film, but maybe not quite such a humorous discussion about the quality of the film. Take our criticism with a pinch of salt, go and seek out the film yourself, and it does look much better when you can actually see what's going on. Enjoy. Trying to capture the Asphyx.
I think he probably was. With Bill Clinton and
Bill Gates and Stephen Hawking
and Woody Allen.
Yeah.
What a squad. Yeah. It's like the Avengers of pervs, isn't it?
Britain, an ancient kingdom with legends of violence, cruelty, and torment in its blood. Join your hosts, Ross, John, and James, as they bravely tread where few would dare. Witness their journey into the horrific history of British horror. They are the General Witchfinders.
Ladies and gentlemen, goblins and ghouls, welcome back to the 66th episode of the General Witchfinders podcast. I'm James in Bournemouth in southern England.
66 is quite hard to say, isn't it?
It is.
Especially if you're John Pertwee.
The Cyberman. I'm John Pountney. I'm here in South Wales, and when I last looked, South Wales was still very much part of the south of Wales.
Is it underwater though?
No, why?
Oh, all the flooding.
We haven't had flooding.
Okay.
Yeah, we've written our car off in the floods. And I'm Ross in Dorchester, southern England. And this time we captured the Asphyx.
Get ready! The pole's stuck.
Drive! On that branch!
At the first sign of death, it begins a cry of torment that drives the dying mad. The Asphyx, more than a myth, more than a maybe.
A smudge, and another one here, and finally another here. Gentlemen, what you have seen, what we have recorded, is the soul at the moment it departs the body.
The Asphyx, more than a myth, more than a maybe.
Good grief. I tell you, it saw me.
Here is a man a minute from death, without a soul, with only one way back, through the secret of the Asphyx.
Train the light on the Asphyx.
The force within you that brings insanity at the instant of death. From birthday to death day, it controls the most terrifying moment of your life. Your death. The Asphyx. The Asphyx. More than a myth. More than a maybe.
So the movie that we're looking at is The Asphyx, a 1972 British...
We're trying to look at it anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. More on that in a second. A 1972 British science fiction horror film, also known as Spirit of the Dead or The Horror of Death. The title comes from the ancient Greek word asphyxia, meaning lack of pulse, or, as we know it in English, asphyxiation. As far as we can see, this was the only directing credit for Peter Newbrook. He had a fascinating career, starting as a 14-year-old messenger boy at Warner Brothers' Teddington studio. By 1937, he'd worked his way up to focus puller, and by 1942, he was at Ealing as a first assistant cameraman. He worked in the camera and electrical departments of many classics. He was actually the second unit photographer for the famous Long Shot in Lawrence of Arabia, where Omar Sharif emerges from the mirage on the camel. Yes. He also worked on Bridge on the River Kwai and 6 episodes of Tales of the Unexpected, one of our touchstones. Speaking of Lawrence of Arabia, this film was shot by Freddie Young, the director of photography on over 130 films, although I imagine he might have been slightly inebriated when he did this one. He worked on Goodbye Mr. Chips, The 49th Parallel, Lust for Life, The Battle of Britain, Nicholas and Alexandra, and the James Bond film, You Only Live Twice. Which some people say is maybe one of the best ones. Young was the first British cinematographer to film in CinemaScope, but he is actually best known for his creative partnership with the director David Lean. He won the Academy Award for Best Cinematography 3 times for the aforementioned Lawrence of Arabia, Dr. Zhivago, and Ryan's Daughter.
Which is mad when you think, and he shot this.
And this, which is crazy. But then, we'll be touching on this again, I fear. The music for the Asphyx was by Bill McGuffey. After 3 years of studying piano, he had an accident as a child, which caused the loss of his second finger on his right hand. Despite the accident, he started playing again and modified his technique to cope with the handicap. He's probably most remembered for his music for the Daleks' Invasion Earth 2150 AD.
That's a brilliant score. It's a lot better than this rubbish.
This is so fucking weird, the music in this film.
And not in keeping with anything to do with
that's
horror.
what I said straight away.
Yeah, me too. So back in 2009, it was announced that Black and Blue Films, who I've never heard of before, was planning a remake. It was slated to begin photography in 2011, starring Ross has put Bond girl Alison Doody.
Yes.
Quick quiz, which Bond film was she in?
View to a Kill.
We scrolled out. Yes, well done.
And
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yes, thank you, John. Yeah,
she's one of my favourite pin-ups.
She's the turncoat Nazi.
She went on to play Elsa.
Yeah.
In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
She talks in her sleep. Of course. Yes. Brilliant film. Anyway, Matthew McGunnan was set to direct, but the remake failed to secure finance and was indefinitely shelved, although Terry Rossio later remade it as a short film called Laboratory Conditions.
Oh.
Apparently, a good US version of this film has never been found. Only shorter UK versions, which are, Ross has put, great quality. Is that ironic? It was supposed to be not great quality.
Not great quality, yeah.
Right, okay. So, only shorter UK versions that are not great quality. DVD releases have combined HD footage from the 35mm negative with inferior standard definition footage from a US print, resulting in significant shifts in image quality. Yes, we did watch a pretty ropey version of this.
Unbelievable.
On the DVD. So we're not sure if it's the extended version described.
Should we talk about the pan and scanning on this at this point, or do we want to do it later on?
I think we should mention the abysmal quality of
a commercially available DVD, which we purchased to watch this. It's such bad quality. It looks like it's like 8mm film. It was obviously a much wider ratio when it was filmed.
Yes.
Pan and scan, but most of the time you're just seeing the space in between where two people are talking. and you might see like the tip of a nose coming in from either side. And the pan scanning is just behind when people are talking. So it will slowly pan away from people talking to like someone else, and then it just can't keep up.
And then when there is a close-up, it's a real jarring close-up.
Horrible close-up.
Bam! Like really close in on you, isn't it?
When one of the main characters is electrocuting himself, you just see his mouth looking like a cat's chuff, wreathed in smoke. Not good.
Now, it's also been suggested that the plot and gimmick, scientists creating a device to catch a spirit, entrap it and seal it away, would later be the basis for 1984's Ghostbusters. And I put, this is like a steampunk Ghostbusters in my notes before I read this.
I'm sure Dan Aykroyd saw this and
hold on.
Spirited that away,
But it reminded me of two things, one of which I've forgotten, but the other one is the Christopher Nolan film with electricity.
The Prestige.
Is it that one?
The Prestige.
It's something like that, isn't it? And I think if this was remade, you could remake it in that way, and I think it would be really good. I think there's, of all the films we've watched, I feel like I'm summing up now before we've even got there.
Yeah.
But I think out of everything we've watched, this could probably be the best remake. Because I think there is the nugget of a great idea here, but this film is so ham-fisted. And it might be helped by the fact if you could see what is happening on the screen.
Well, I was thinking, but even if it was a Hammer version of this, would be better. Like, just have Cushing as a scientist. Ralph Bates is his like adopted son. Christopher Lee is the head of the psychological research thing.
The overall idea is quite similar to the start of Frankenstein Created Woman, which was 1967.
I felt that this shares a lot of the DNA of a lot of Witchfinder films, but I think we'll get on to that in a minute. So let's just polish our introductory ramble off.
Polish our turd.
Yes, absolutely. So looking at the cast, Robert Stephens stars as Sir Hugo Cunningham. His early films included A Taste of Honey, Cleopatra, and The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie with his then wife Maggie Smith. Wow. He also had a minor role as Prince Aeschylus in Zeffirelli's version of Romeo and Juliet, and a starring role in Billy Wilder's The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes. Our listeners will most likely recognise him from his role of Abner Brown in the 1984 BBC dramatisation of The Box of Delights. Lovely. Robert Powell features as Giles Cunningham. We featured, Ross has put Jesus the Great Detective. What's that about, Ross?
Oh, because like it's Jesus of Nazareth, and also he's a detective. It was a joke, which was funny when I wrote it. Yeah, just
okay.
Are you talking about The Detectives, Cleese?
Yeah, I know, smashing that together with Jesus of Nazareth.
But I've just thought there's a character in this who looks an awful lot like Jasper Carrot.
Yes, I do know what you mean. Yeah, right. So we featured him a couple of times before. Go and check out episode 46 on James Herbert's The Survivor, one of the worst things we've ever done. And episode 57 on Do Watch, where we get to see him fight rats stapled to his very skinny flares. And Jane Laportaire plays Christina Cunningham, which finally gives us the opportunity to legitimately mention one of our dinosaurs is missing, where she plays Miss Prescott. She was nominated for 2 BAFTAs in the 80s for Marie Curie and Blind Justice, and she won a Tony Award in 1981 for playing Edith Piaf. She's been in everything from Van der Valk to Casualty and Endeavour. A classic British thesp, isn't it?
Yes.
That career of been around for decades, been in everything. She's still working in her early 80s, fantastically enough, recently playing Princess Alice of Battenberg in The Crown. Wow.
No way!
She's had a son with Roland Joff, the director of The Killing Fields, and weirdly, a producer on the Bob Hoskins version of the Super Mario Brothers.
Amazing.
Oh, wow. And their son, Rowan Joff, was one of the screenwriters on 28 Weeks Later.
No way.
Wow.
That's why I said this one has got so many little connections.
Yeah, interesting. And we covered that one back in episode 58. Alex Scott was Sir Edward Barrett, previously seen by us in The Abominable Dr. Phibes and Twins of Evil. And you can check out episodes 10 and 25, respectively, for those. Fiona Walker was Anna Wheatley. She played villainesses in 2 classic Doctor Who stories, of course, 24 years apart. Carla in The Keys of Marinus, and the sorceress Lady Peneforte in Silver Nemesis.
Painfort.
Oh, okay, whatever. In Silver Nemesis. She was also Agrippa in I, Claudius, where she was directed by her future husband, Herbert Wise. Another quick little quiz. Can you remember what film he directed that we've already covered? Herbert Wise.
Herbert Wise.
Yeah.
And what was his role, James?
Oh, no, he was the
director.
He's the husband of this lady, Fiona Walker. But he's directed, but Herbert Wise is director, so we've already done.
Herbert Wise. Oh, I haven't got a clue. It's annoying.
It was the Woman in Black ITV version of
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Well done. Well done, Herb.
Nice, yeah. And finally, Ralph Arliss was Clive Cunningham. He was in John Pertwee's final adventure as Doctor Who, Planet of the Spiders.
Yes.
Not to be confused with John's first adventure, which was...
Anyone?
Spearhead from Space.
That's the one.
If you're being weird, it's the Doctor Who and the Auton Invasion, which is the Target novelization title.
Nice.
If we're being weird, but the book wasn't filmed in 16mm though, was it?
No,
come on.
It was just written in English.
Yes.
Lovely. Ralph was also in the final adventure for Sir John Mills in Quatermass, and you can spot him in Survivors, The Bill, Return of the Saint, and the home of nearly all British thesps. Boon! Hooray!
Still back! No way, he's in Boone, is he? Ken Boone.
Yep.
So with the wife, Anna, is she only in one scene, or have I blacked out in part of this film?
She's in the wife is in she's his fiance. She's in the carriage at the beginning.
Yes.
She's in a very awkward
kissing scene
in front of the fire.
Yeah.
And then she's on the boat on the river.
So she drowns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. That's basically I missed. And I thought, I was like, what the fuck has happened to his wife? She did. Right. Okay.
If
That's
you said
how
like
hard.
me, John, this film kept sending me to sleep. I fell asleep so many times.
Before we get into it, so I should say a quick explanation as to my history with it. I caught this film from about 10
like
minutes
a disease.
in many ways, yes. Late night, BBC One, either when I was home for from university over a summer holiday, or when I had first moved back to Bournemouth from London. I was at my parents'. But so I can't remember exactly when, but I just remember having been on a night out, and we've kind of spoken about this before. Like you'd go to the pub or be out doing whatever, and then come home and what's on TV late at night? And because we were like limited with the channels, and I caught this, and I was just like,
great days, James. Great days.
I know, nostalgia. And at the time, I remember thinking, and of course, you're watching it late at night, dark. I was like, what is this film? This is so weird.
Yeah.
But it kept me watching it until the end.
Yeah.
And then at the end, as when we get to, I remember watching it at what inevitably would have been about 1:30 in the morning on the tiny TV that I had in my room. Probably half awake in bed. I remember his old man makeup being way better than that.
Oh.
When I watched it again now, I was like, that's rubbish.
But it was standard definition, wasn't it? Like you said, with blurred, pissed eyes.
That's right. And so at the time, I remember thinking, what an odd little curio it is. And so when
he just looks like a man wrapped in sellotape in this, doesn't he?
Yeah. So when Ross suggested we do it, I thought, good, it's going to be an opportunity to watch this again.
Yeah.
And then, as I said, watching it again was so this is barely how I remember this film, which is always an odd thing.
Very interesting, isn't it?
I also didn't realise I'd missed the start.
Yeah, which is would have been in contemporary time, wasn't it? So you got so it starts off
70s Britain.
Yeah.
Yes,
and there's a car accident, isn't there?
The motorbike gang from thingy have just
Psychomania.
They've just gone past, haven't they?
Those, kind of post, we've got kind of Britain that's done that kind of post-war rebuild. Everything's very concrete-y, just starting to be on the turn in the 70s. Things are going to start to fall apart very soon. It's that weird kind of post 60s, yay, isn't everything great in Britain? You know, it's really Britain on the turn.
Yes.
I felt.
That's the alternative title for this film.
Yeah, it's Britain on the turn.
Yeah.
And then, yes, there's a car crash. And first of all, they don't call an ambulance. They just call the police first.
Yeah, it's cops, isn't it?
And then a policeman goes, call an ambulance.
Just drags them out, you know. Does nothing about leaving the body. Like this.
Yeah. Did they learn nothing from Bobby Davro?
Yeah. They just look at someone and see they're dead. You don't even check their pulse.
Just, Connor. And then we don't see who it is, but we see that there's like a pair of legs sticking out from between the two crashed cars.
Yeah.
And a voice going,
that's some very weird dubbed groaning.
And then a really weird overdub of a guy going, order Bennett, he's alive.
Yeah. Then cut to the weirdest romantic music.
That's literally what I thought. Car crash fades into a very weird romantic theme. And then the intro of the film is very, very long. You basically get all the credits at the start of the film, and it goes on forever.
One slowly panning over a dusty room.
Yes, and what I put is, this is very similar to the opening credits of Bagpuss.
Right, yeah. Oh, no, because I wasn't crying, because I would just start crying as soon as the Bagpuss music.
Okay, well, yeah, Bagpuss, which again starts off with going into a Victorian-esque era black and white photograph. There's a mantelpiece, and as it, I was like, this is just like Bagpuss. Especially like the very kind of romantic, kind of
the music's terrible.
The music, it's really really. Awesome.
It is being played by a nine-fingered man.
Yeah,
yes, there is that.
But I do think in retrospect that the framing device is the savior of this film in many ways, because you do have that. The start makes you wait till the end to see what the start is going to be about. Because otherwise, I think you turn off
I immediately
halfway.
forgot the beginning. And then was like, hang on, when it happened at the end, I thought, oh, right, okay, yeah.
I remember that bit now.
Yeah.
1 hour and 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or several attempts of watching it.
So we meet straight away. We meet Sir Hugo, and we're in prime Witchfinders territory.
Yeah,
because it's a classic large Victorian stately home.
Yeah,
and clip-cloppy horses, and a man kind of dabbling with forces that he shouldn't be messing with, and a no doubt difficult relationship with his daughter, which again we've had plenty of times.
Well, this could have been a really good ghost story for Christmas. They could have put this into
trimmed it down.
Yeah. Because that sort of clopping through like really muddy grey is classic start of one of those things.
Great stuff. Yes.
And so basically he's saying, you're going to come and meet my children, and his fiancée is like a bit nervous that they're not going to like him. Looks like he's a widower, a rich widower who's gone off and met some new lady, and he's bringing her back.
New lady.
Yeah. And then they sort of he gets out, and I think they're trying to establish that he's a nice guy because he's nice to his butler.
Yeah.
And he asks his butler about his wife.
But I thought at this point, knowing the content of the film, I thought this was leading to a Peter Cushing's Frankenstein-esque kind of moral dilemma where he ends up killing off the sister.
Right.
Yeah.
As
a means to further his experiments. But you never see the sister, and it's mentioned twice, like it's setting something up.
Just talking about her sister's been, and because my brain has been reprogrammed by watching all this crap we watch, I just immediately thought it was like some plague, like in Survivors or something. Which
what?
Well, if anyone starts talking about someone's,
it's probably just TB, please.
Someone else being sick off camera, you think, okay, that's going to mean something. That means there's some kind of plague happening somewhere.
Yes, yeah, but basically, all staff and everyone in the house just seem to disappear in the rest of the film, don't they? Because of all the noise and confusion that goes on in this film. Almost no one hears what's happening when there's screaming. There's a sound that sounds like a piglet squealing. There's explosions. No one runs in and says, fuck, what the fuck is going on?
It's the Lord. Let him carry on with it.
Yeah.
So we find out so Sir Hugo is part of the nascent kind of society for cyclical research or, psychic research and all the rest of it. And I put the question they put to him is, well, what do you photograph? And I just put, hello. That sounds like a bit of a nudge, wink, wink. What sort of photographs do you take?
Possibly understand.
Yes, there's some of that.
Yes.
And we then get to see that what he does is we get an amazing slideshow of a number of photographs taken at the moment of death. And what I've just put is that those dead people just look startled. They're supposed to be like horrified, but no one's going. And again, this won't work. Sorry, podcast listener. But imagine like a look of pure fear. Like, like no one's doing that. Everyone's just going. I'm like, oh.
But it is the sort of pictures I would see in Unexplained magazine. And I would be like shitting myself looking at them. Like, they've all got a smudge on them. Oh. Yeah.
And then an old lady's slippers next to a burnt out rocking chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
And then a diagram of a naked Chinese man with all the places you've got to stick a pin through. What's it called?
Very long fingernails?
No. What's it called?
Acupuncture, Ross.
Yes.
Acupuncture.
Yeah. I think that was one of the first nude images I ever saw of an adult male.
And you've never forgotten. And you've never forgotten it, Cleves.
I forgot it. It burned into my memory.
Welcome to the psychiatrist's couch.
Yeah.
Oh, dearie me. So very quickly we find out.
Can I just say, when they they're saying there's smudges on all of these pictures.
Yes,
and there's a very scientific way of describing this. Not saying, well, we don't know what it is. He just says, I want to propose one thing and one thing only.
One thing only.
That is the picture of the soul, and that's it. And it can't be anything else.
Yeah.
And so this wonderful newfangled photography lark.
Yes.
And again, I thought this is why John might find this an amusing aside watching this film. Is he's like, oh yeah, the camera can capture the soul at the moment of
departation,
at the moment of death. Yes.
But it is quite strange though, because often in these sort of films, the first thing they say would be the truth, and that would be that would follow all the way through, like we saw with the creeping flesh. They just. The first thing comes to your mind that is it's good that he was proven wrong and it was something else. That was quite interesting.
Yes, so it's not the soul, is it? It's the Asphyx.
It's the Asphyx. Yeah. Now,
what does the Asphyx do again?
It basically just comes and claims the human soul.
Like every living thing, including guinea pigs,
has got an Asphyx,
which will come and claim them when they die.
And I'm sorry, I'm such a schoolboy at heart still. Every time someone went Asphyx to this, I chuckled to myself. I was like, oh yeah, oh no, oh my Asphyx has got me. So, yes, we find it, to start off with, I put, bloody hell, the Asphyx must be really busy if it's claiming every soul Grim Reaper style. But it's not until much later on in the film that it's established, oh no, each individual person and living thing
has an
Asphyx.
Yes.
Crazy.
So there's lots of Asphyxes.
The Asphyx is in pain.
It screams like a pig.
Yeah.
And needs to grab the soul in order to either feel whole again. Or I've just put the pseudoscience klaxon. There's a lot of absolute twaddle spoken at various points in the film.
I really enjoyed a lot of the twaddle.
We're the masters of that.
It's kind of... we're the masters of enjoying twaddle.
Twaddle, yes.
Yeah. That's another good thing to put at the top of the Instagram. And
twaddle master.
It does sit really well in a world of spiritualism and those photos of people with slime coming out of their noses.
Ectoplasm.
Yeah, all that stuff works really well, I think. And that's why I think this is a really good basis for a good film. The trouble is, this is not that film, which is a bit of a shame. So it's... Have we mentioned the canoodling yet by the fire and all that weird stuff?
No.
Well, he's down on one knee in front of her, isn't he? And she's sat in a chair and he's down on one knee and they're having like a bit of a snog, but it just looks like the most awkward.
Uncomfortable.
It just looks the weirdest thing.
It's so weirdly blocked,
But then they discuss Robert Powell, who is his stepson, wants to marry his real daughter. Is that right?
Yeah.
From the get-go, I was like, I don't understand what they're talking about here.
So the children of Lord, what's his name?
Lord, what's his name? That's right.
Lord Hugo, Sir Hugo.
So yeah.
He's got his two biological son and biological daughter, and he's got a adopted son, which we later find out came from some kind of work house.
Yeah,
or
from
something.
the workhouse. Yes.
Yeah. And he's obviously got a chip on his shoulder because he said, "I'm always the one who's
last to be introduced."
Yeah. And also he's introduced as this is my
stepson
or adopted
my
son.
Useless son.
This is my adopted son,
my
not my
useless son,
which is Robert Powell.
Yes.
Yes, and like we said, Robert Powell is secretly in love with his stepsister, but apparently everyone knows about it. And I was like, I'm sure this sort of thing happened, but it's a bit weird, isn't it?
It is a bit weird, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we've had that part. We've had the canoodling. I've said quite a tight crop and as camp as Christmas. I think Robert Stephens in real life was bisexual, and all the way through this film, I got a massive homoerotic thing between him and Robert Powell. The scenes where Robert Stephens looks at Robert Powell all the way through the scene like he's going to kiss him. It's a really weird dynamic. It's just very odd. And
I thought he was really giving off lots of Alan Rickman vibes as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he was a very, very respected theatrical actor. And obviously he did, Private Life of Sherlock Holmes, which is the Billy Wilder film, which I think has got quite homoerotic subtext between Holmes and Watson. So maybe that's just something he possessed.
Something he used.
As a man who was potentially bisexual. So then we've got, it did work out at one point as well. There's only 13 years between Robert Powell and Stephens in this film.
Right.
So to say that he's his stepfather is mental because he's only 13 years older than him. And he doesn't look much older than him, really, does he?
No.
But Robert Powell is at his skinniest. Just people were just so skinny in the 70s.
Yeah, well, he looks like Bowie.
Rationing. There was still rationing going on.
He looks a bit like Ziggy Stardust with like a curly wig on.
He was a good-looking chap. I can see he was.
Very handsome guy.
Yeah, so they all go down to the river to try out the Sir Hugo's
some hilarious photography hijinks.
Yeah, he's invented the motion picture camera.
50 years before it was really invented or something like that.
Yeah.
On what looks like a freezing cold winter day.
Yes.
So first of all, he gets Robert Powell and his daughter to sort of come along on a little punt.
Like like you have in on the River Cam, isn't it?
Yes,
in Sharda.
Very similar.
Sharda.
and then his daughter, his son, and his fiance come along, and then
they have a go.
So this is the part where I've totally forgotten that the woman dies. I just thought
they both. He bangs his head on a twig exactly the same way as the family die at the end of the Woman in Black ITV version, which was directed by her
husband. Was it Jane Lapierre's husband?
No, Fiona Walker.
Anyway.
Yes.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, so she was like, I've got a great idea for the ending of Woman in Black. Why don't we get hit by a branch?
And to go in the water. So,
how that is shot is really weird.
Well,
I know we've already
hilarious.
said about like the because I put this is a death. This has got death trap written all over it. And as I said, like even though he could. Surely you'd see that branch coming.
Yes.
By miles. And they're not going that fast.
No.
But even still.
On a punt,
When his son his head hits the branch, the zoom in on him is really bizarre. Once again, that might be the pan and scan factor that we spoke about before.
Yes.
But he pulls the most awkward face imaginable as well. I go,
it falls in the water, which is obviously not deep at all.
No.
Not very deep.
And then they're all panicking because they can't swim. And then the water is as black as... I can't remember. Black as night.
Yeah. Says Robert Powell with a load of mud on his face. But then there's a really weird edit then where I feel like either something was cut.
Yeah, it looks like it was put together from lots of different
I
prints,
feel like
doesn't it?
dialogue cuts off there. But then you have this really weird bit where what looks like the kind of messy water that you get churning out from a motorboat.
It was a weir. It's a weir.
Yeah, but that's not explained. And I think because with the pan and scan, you can't tell it's a weir, can you?
No.
So it looks like someone's coming in a motorboat to try and save them, and it's just a hat bobbing around. And then it cuts to a piece of where, for us, Robert Powell is off camera explaining what's happening, that it's a weir. Yeah. It's like none of it made sense until you think, maybe this is like a pan and scan.
Yeah.
It was a bit like a voiceover where it's like...
Because there was bits where someone remembers dialogue people have said.
Yes.
Yeah. But then you think that's happening, but it's just because they're cropped off the screen. You don't realise they're in the room when the dialogue is being spoken. Now, so Hugo is distraught because his son and his fiancée are dead.
Very upset.
In order to get over this, he's developing the motion picture
photos. Yeah, because if someone died around me, the next best thing to having them would be seeing the moment that they've been killed.
Yeah. I just want to relive that over and over again.
Over again.
Yeah.
The great tragedy. And I put the line for the line I've written down was, I have to know if Clive knew he was about to die. Which is, I have to know this.
Yeah.
It's essential.
Amazing. I have to say that I think Robert Stevens' performance in this is brilliant. It's literally turned up to 11. It's demented.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bit like Jeremy Brett's Sherlock Holmes if he was just fully insane.
Yeah. Lots of gnashing teeth.
Mad hand gestures, loads of gnashing teeth. Yeah, and I'm all for that kind of stuff. I don't think enough actors act like that anymore.
But he turns it on and off. So it's not.
Yes,
he seems a really nice guy when he's not doing that. Yeah.
Well, that's the weird thing. He does come across as genuinely quite nice, and then in a way which is a bit different to the kind of Cushing Frankenstein. So it does give his character a bit of light and shade where he just seems actually like quite a nice bloke.
Yeah. So this is when they notice that the smudges are on this video. Motion picture, and it's moving towards them. So that's when they come up with the Asphyx theory.
So rather than leaving, it's entering his body.
Yes, and we get one of our first General Witchfinders box tick moments of we have to go and deal with the dead body.
Yeah.
Bit of disturbing the grave or post-mortem hijinks.
For reasons we that I have no idea why.
I think he wanted to see if that smudge was still there.
But surely the smudge...
Or entrapped in his eye or something like that.
Well, they say that, but they don't do it, do they?
No. So you have that thing where supposedly people used to believe that you would see the last thing that you saw is imprinted on your retina.
We saw this in Horror Express because you just look at the
is that what it, that's what it is?
And you see dinosaurs, remember?
That film.
So... I'd forgotten that completely.
More pseudoscience, you
see. With this, it's just like they actually just go and take a picture of the corpse, and it's like he's dead, because they've already said he's been dead 2 weeks. So if this thing is coming and going on the moment of death, it's obviously not going to be there at this point. Because
at this point, if you're the adopted son of this guy, you're thinking he just wants an excuse to take pictures of dead bodies.
Dead people, yeah. So, having been foiled in this attempt, Hugo is not put off, and his friend turns up, who's like the man of reason.
Yes,
and he's like, there has been an outrage. It's a throwback. They're going to execute a prisoner in public. Because, quite historically correctly, they had started moving away from public executions by the late Victorian era. Although, not entirely gone. They were still doing them in some of the prisons, but still, so Hugo's like, aha, this offers me the opportunity. I will film him dying. And I'll see if I can, get the Asphyx on camera that way. And so then that's our next big sequence. The prisoner, a lot of extras again.
Yeah.
The prison, and what I put is that the prisoner's uniform looks like it's been done with a felt tip.
Yeah. With proper arrows drawn on it.
I quite liked it. I thought it was a bit pop arty.
It was.
I've said that it looks like a reform kind of general meeting, doesn't it? Like
peasants. Yeah.
And at this point, I've written, I have no idea what's happening. Because you go to this sequence and then you're introduced to technology that Sir Hugo has brought with him that hasn't been introduced to you before in the film.
Yeah.
And there's a bit where he's got this mad kind of light.
Yeah. So basically, because it was too dark for him to film it properly, he's got this special light which has got like phosphorus or something in there, which you have to drip water on.
You've got to drip, which sounds like absolute bollocks to me, really, in terms of suspension of disbelief. In this point, is like dropping water onto crystals doesn't make light, does it?
And crystals just indefinitely will produce light.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They never wear out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as long as there's water, you've got light.
Yeah. So
and then he fires it at the man being hung, doesn't he?
Yeah. And every time they do this, they manage to catch which direction the Asphyx is coming from. It could be coming from any direction around that person in 360 degrees, but every time it's always just to the left.
It could be coming from completely behind him. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
and then but then the Asphyx is trapped within that light.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
But at this point, we don't know what the light is, and we haven't seen an Asphyx, so it's like, what the fuck is going on? It basically looks like a round screen.
Yeah,
next to the hanging
it's like he's
man.
Projecting it, isn't it?
Yes, it looks more like a projection. And I was just like, I've no idea what's happening in this scene. And then he's screaming and shouting and blah, 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 blah. And I think, is he filming it at the same time as well?
Yes. Yeah. And then the guy's not dying because they've got the Asphyx caught in the beam.
Yes.
People are pulling on his legs to try and kill him, which is quite cool.
The thing. Yes. That used to happen. Yeah.
One of the things I like the priest was saying, "You said you don't want me to pray for you, but I'm going to do it anyway." And then he does this prayer for him. Yeah, but all hell breaks loose. The light goes out, and then the Asphyx enters the man,
and then he dies.
Yes, yeah. So from all this, we've now kind of got the res of the movie.
Yes,
So yes, they proved that there's a thing called the Asphyx, and now it's like we are going to trap an Asphyx. But at the same time, what I put is
say Asphyx in this review.
I know, loads. But what my note just says is, well, how on earth does this container work?
Yes,
they just like, we will contain it in the light, this teak container. I'm like, how?
It can't come out of the light. There's the lights on it. It can't leave the light.
It just again, suspension of disbelief. You need something with electronics and power here, don't you? You need a bit of Frankenstein-y like levers and stuff like that. Or, like in Ghostbusters with the thing on the floor.
Yes. Well, and this is the moment when I said so. So Hugo kind of hypothesizes that yes, we can trap the Asphyx, and it's like aha, and I put, oh my god, this is like steampunk Ghostbusters.
So he says, I need a guinea pig, he says.
And joke, they actually get a guinea pig.
Yes.
And he and Robert Powell conduct an experiment. They basically try and kill the guinea pig. And then, as Ross has already pointed out, it turns out that every living thing on Earth apparently has an Asphyx.
Yes.
And they successfully managed to trap the Asphyx.
Yes.
But the guinea pig's Asphyx doesn't look like a guinea pig.
No, they all look like a ghost.
A bit like Slimer. Yeah. I think that the effect of the Asphyx is actually really, really good and quite terrifying.
Yeah.
I think if you saw the film correctly, it would actually look quite good.
It made me think of the Ghost of Christmas Past out of the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Similar.
That ghost that they sort of filmed it underwater, didn't they? With
It's very well done. Sorry, I'm yawning. I shouldn't do dialogue while I'm yawning. I think it's very well done. And it's, again, a bit of a saving grace for the film, because otherwise it's just demented, isn't it, really?
Did you think the other people at that at the execution saw the Asphyx at that point and heard it screaming?
They're all screaming. But the noise that the Asphyx makes is horrible. I think it's like a pig squealing, isn't it? Which is really, I think, quite traumatic, because it's potentially a pig in some distress, which I don't want to hear, really. But then there's loads of other weird, spooky noises as well, which, the that part is actually fairly spooky and quite unnerving.
Yeah.
And
so
then
basically, they work out that if they got the Asphyx in a box, and if they have some of these crystals in there, which have got a constant supply of water dripping on them, that means it can't get out of that box, and therefore the creature which you've taken it from,
separated from
is therefore immortal. I can't remember anything they did to the guinea pig to prove that the guinea pig was immortal.
Stop. Right now, this is exactly what I put. The line is, that guinea pig can't die, which I thought was, again, just struck me as funny. And then I've written, there should now be a Wolverine-esque montage of the guinea pig being shot, blown up, fired out of a cannon, dropped from a hot air balloon, everything. And the guinea pig I'm okay, guys.
Reconstituting itself. It's basically John Barrowman, isn't it?
Yes.
But without the issues concerning John Barrowman and his hair.
Yeah.
So then, encouraged by this, this scientific feat, inevitably. So Hugo is like, right, okay, I'm going to go big from this point on, and I think, and he's like,
go big or go home.
Yes, let's capture the soul of a human, and let's see if that makes us immortal. And we now get into our moral quandaries of, my God, you're playing God, man. And, once again, our classic kind of Witchfinder territory of a horror story, which is ultimately, it's constant updates of Frankenstein.
Yes,
that age of enlightenment. Man is playing God, and we're going into, through science, we're starting to broach into territories where we should not be venturing.
This is very, very Frankenstein, all of it.
Yes, really, ultimately. Yeah, that's what it is. It's Frankenstein divided by Ghostbusters. And so what they decide to do is they kind of drum up a guy who's dying from tuberculosis.
Yeah, he's being hideously maltreated in the workhouse.
But do you know? Here's a trivia question: do you know who was mistreating him?
No.
Well, I recognised him.
Go on then. Does Tony Counter?
Yeah,
Tony Cascarino.
So who's that then? Roy Evans from EastEnders.
Pat Butcher's second husband.
Wow.
So I was like, I think that's Pat Butcher's husband. And Hel was like, what? So she came and had a look, and she was like, oh, yeah. And so that's weird, isn't it? And he's only just died.
Yes. But when I was watching this, Beck was sitting next to me, and I said, do you mind if it says, as long as you don't mind me not paying attention?
Yeah,
you can tell, and then she can tell she wasn't paying attention.
Scenes from Ross and Becca's marriage, right there. Yeah. Do you mind if I do this? Not if you mind me not paying attention.
And then she kept saying, "Is that Dracula?" I go, "No, Dracula's not in this." And then she asked them who was Dracula several times throughout.
Who was Dracula? What the real Dracula?
Well, yeah.
So they decide,
and he looks like Jasper Carrot, this man, doesn't he?
This is the Jasper Carrot, slightly, yes. So they decide they're going to try and capture his Asphyx. However, at the last minute, it all starts to go wrong, and so they're trying to keep him alive. I've forgotten how they're keeping him alive.
I've forgotten. They basically take him to die in the laboratory, don't they?
Yeah, because they basically say you're going to die in 24 hours. I thought it was incredibly specific.
He's
for the
got
Victorian
TB,
era.
And he's coughing. Otherwise, he seems quite healthy to me.
Right. Yeah.
And I thought at this point maybe we'd have a bit of a Cushing Frankenstein-esque help him along his way. But no, they'd kind of leave him on a chaise longue to just cough himself to death. But then he has a bit of a freak out, doesn't he? While the Asphyx is happening. And then what happens? I can't actually remember what.
In order to try, because I think it's like he either decides that he does want to die and it's his time to go, and he's like, I assume the way that the actor plays it is it kind of suggests that it's massively uncomfortable to be denying your asphyx.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And
because he's in agony, isn't he? Yes,
yeah, so he's going, ah! So what he does is, because he's just in a lab, he grabs a beaker of acid
that you'd have lying around.
It. Yes. Sir Hugo. And, like one of Batman's rogues, Two-Face, the acid splashes on the side of his face, and he goes, "Oh, my face! My face! My valuable face!" And then because of that, then the light goes off, the Asphyx gets the guy, bang, he's dead. And then it's kind of like, oh, okay, right. We were denied that time, but he's not been put off. So Hugo's like, right, we got to try something else here.
Yes.
So this is where he builds himself an electric chair.
Yes.
And electrocutes himself. So
he decides that he is going to now guinea pig himself
with his melted acid attack.
Very sore looking face.
It does look sore, doesn't it? I know how he feels. It looks a bit like bad psoriasis, doesn't it?
And then
the singing detective.
There's one of the weirdest bits of bizarre logic as regards to the what. Right, okay. When you trap my Asphyx, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to keep it in there. We're going to keep it in this box, as Ross says, with the water dripping on the crystals for all eternity, and we're going to lock it in this vault. And to stop anyone from getting into the vault, I'm going to put a combination lock on it, and I'm going to write the code down. But then I'm going to destroy it. It was all like ridiculously overcomplicated. But the bit that really made me laugh was he said, "I will put the most unpenetrable of locks onto the casket," and Robert Powell goes, "Ah, a combination lock." And he goes, "Exactly." I was like, and I just put, "Oh, come on, that's hardly impenetrable, is it?"
No, you want to be bricked in or like
not even a lock. Just a big steel door.
What I found very weird at this point is, why don't you just shoot yourself in the head?
Yeah, well, it's because they've got to have. One of the things that they've invented, they've done this electric chair and it's worked. Yeah. But then for the next killing they do, they go, okay, but this time
something else.
Yeah, this time we're going to do a guillotine. Yeah. And then the next one,
we're going to have a gas chamber.
But it's just like
makes no sense at all. Just shoot yourself in the head and have that filmed with the mad light. Yes, but I do really enjoy the scene. So I've seen this scene before on Talking Pictures very late at night, like you, James. But then I don't know if I recorded it or just went to bed and didn't finish watching it. But I find this scene quite good, where they're literally hamming it up to the maximum here, and it's like, don't touch him. And there's lots of hands like moving dials and stuff.
Because yes, this is the point where, as we were saying earlier, all the noises and weird sounds coming from this lab, no one turns up and goes, what on earth is going on here? Until this point where
you're right in there, sir.
Sir Hugo's daughter turns up.
Yes.
Here's all of this.
Luckily, because they've forgotten they need two people to capture the Asphyx. And then, shit. The other person is now attached to the electric chair. And
this is after, I've got to point out for the storyline, this is after the guinea pig has found its way into her bed, and then she's put it out the front door.
Okay, yes.
The guinea pig is still part of the narrative. No, don't forget the guinea pig.
It's Chekhov's guinea pig. Yeah. It's going to be playing a central role later on.
Bodily pig.
But you got it. Right. So what I've put at this point is I'll just get on with it. This scene just felt quite interminable.
Yes.
It just went on and on and on. So Christina, the daughter, comes in and she's like, what's going on? What are you doing to father? And he's like, don't stop the experiment. And then as usual, and once again, it's another General Witchfinders touchstone. A woman who is screaming needs to be slapped sensible.
Yes.
Yet again, this weird thing of like, oh, that's the only way to
hysteria.
Make women who are quite rightfully freaks out. The only way to calm them down is by putting some awful violence on them.
I do it quite regularly, actually. When just on the street, if I see a woman acting in a hysterical way, I go and slap her.
Yeah, and they're always thankful for it, and they never go, "Why did you just hit me?" And they're like, "Oh,
This is quite...
I would never mention you hitting me again after that.
I feel a lot better now.
This is the sort of content that evil Andrew Tate makes millions of dollars saying. I should point out. Right, yeah. So anyway, success, it works. So Christina kind of comes to her senses, in inverted commas, and then does take part in the scientific experiment. They capture Sir Hugo's Asphyx and puts it in the combination lock.
In the coffin-shaped box. They're going to make it has to be a coffin-shaped box. I think this is why Beck was thinking it was Dracula.
Yes.
Tiny Dracula.
And
they're playing
from
Green Man next year.
Yeah.
He then goes, aha, that's it. I'm immortal now. And then kind of says to Robert Powell and his daughter, Christina, I want you to do this too.
Mm-hmm.
This is the tragedy,
for no apparent reason,
etc., and all the rest of it.
You could say because he just lost his family, hasn't he?
Yeah, they do say that, and they do suggest it's like, I don't want to watch you die, and that's one of the things that Robert Powell says. He's like, well, you'd have to watch everyone that you love die, and those old immortality thought experiments of like, well, the upside is you live forever. The downside is that you see everything you ever care for fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
That happens anyway in 2026, though, doesn't it?
Very, very true. And then I put the line that the key line is I think Christina says, well, none of us are meant to be immortal, and ultimately, that's the point of this movie.
Right. So Freddie Mercury said.
Okay. So now what we get is we're now heading into the final act of the movie, wherein Sir Hugo, the newly immortal Sir Hugo,
he's immortal because they seal him up in a coffin and then wake him up
for a laugh.
Yes, rather than try and shoot him.
Yes, which again, probably too expensive.
Yeah.
Your film budget, they could have done some pretty wacky stuff, but they choose not to. And so then what we get, as John has already said, is despite the fact that they have done the electrocute yourself, they decide, hey, let's go a bit crazy with the whole, how shall we make people to be at the verge of death? So their Asphyx turns up, and poor old Christina, his daughter, they decide, yeah, let's make you think that you're about to have your head chopped off with a guillotine, which we happen to have hanging around. Yeah. We've got a guillotine. There's one in the basement. Let me get it.
Yeah. Let's do something which couldn't possibly go wrong.
Yeah.
Not at all. And it's supposed to be, and he's like, oh my God. So Robert Powell says, isn't this isn't this rather, aren't you putting her through a lot of stress? And, so Hugo's like, she must believe that she is about to die, or otherwise it won't work. And so, they have kind of like a timer release on the guillotine or something like that. And as John says, Chekhov's guinea pig, the guinea pig comes back in, doesn't he? Or is that, and starts gnawing away.
Yeah.
the hose.
So the light goes off or something.
Yes. And then when he goes to go and turn the light back, because the light was holding her Asphyx in place.
Yeah.
When he goes to try and return that on, he lets go of the rope and then chops her head off.
Yes. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. And then he doesn't finish it off. And he said, because she's dead. Her head would never be able to be reattached.
Yeah.
Poor out of her misery.
She'd just be alive, but carrying around. That's the fundamental flaw in this as well. It is that it doesn't explain how dead you've got to be to still be alive. So if you're blown up and you're atomized, are you just a cloud of blood?
In pain.
Yeah.
Because I think we do find that you still can get damaged after.
Yes, that's right.
And you still do age, it would appear.
Yeah, well, it's not like X-Men, like you say, what's his name? Wolverine.
Yeah.
So this point, Robert Powell agrees to have it done to him, and at this time they put him inside a gas chamber.
Hold on, we should just say very quickly that Robert Powell was previously reluctant, and I put, oh wait a minute, Robert Powell's changed his tune a bit quick. But after Christine dies, he's like, no, go on.
Yeah.
I want to do it. And I thought, oh, that's a weird gear change. But then it becomes clear in a bit that really he has no intention.
Some kind of revenge, isn't it? But
he's engineering his own death.
It's quite hard to kind of weigh that up at that point, isn't it?
Yeah, so he does a switcheroo with the crystals for the for the light. It's really fucking obvious when the guy goes to check the crystals in there by throwing himself in front of it. Going, no, I've done it already. You don't need to look inside there.
And I also put, I know we've already seen so far that they're pretty shoddy scientists anyway, but I put, what scientist doesn't check their equipment before they start an experiment? They just start. Mm-hmm. And it's like, whoa, make sure everything's working before you do it. But no, anyway, Yeah. So yes, so we find out that, lo and behold, Robert Powell had no intention whatsoever of making it so that his Asphyx could be caught. He's, as Ross says, he's played around, he's gerrymandered the equipment, and the gas, so he put himself in like a box to be gassed. But then what he does is he then produces what is he, like a match?
He switches it. He makes it so that the Asphyx going to be caught, but then he's got a backup for that. So when the guy switches the gas back to oxygen, so when it fills into pure oxygen. He lights the match and blows himself up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So quite a good effect, actually.
Yeah. And then...
So that's been like our next horror set piece.
Yes.
So we've had the horror of... So far we've had the hanging man horror. We've had the guillotine horror,
the electrocution as well.
Horror, yeah. And so this is now has been our final set piece. Exploded Robert Powell. Exploded Jesus.
Yeah. And then do we cut to modern day again now?
No,
not yet. Well,
he goes down to try and get into the basement, doesn't he?
To kill himself,
yes.
He wants to get his Asphyx out, but he can't because he hasn't got the code. Is that right?
Because he hasn't got the code.
Well,
yes, that's right. Because
the code. But he pulls it out, and then hearing Robert Powell talk to him as a voiceover,
because he's written him a letter, hasn't he?
Yes,
that's what
I think. I think the letter's got the code in it, and what I took from it is that he then agrees with what Robert Powell was saying about having to bear this guilt.
Right?
And how am I going to bear this guilt? So rather than die, then he decides to stay immortal to bear the guilt. And then he sets fire to the letter.
He works it off.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Well, yeah. Well,
and then he basically, then it goes back to the current day.
And then we find
1972.
Out the reason that there was an accident is because, like, he's got his face. We see Lord, what's it?
Yes,
Lord Hugo.
It's basically a tramp. So another tick tramp
box.
Tick a tramp off your Witchfinders bingo. A tramp with a guinea pig because he's still wandering around with the guinea pig.
Yes. Well, he says you're my only lifelong friend now, or something.
Without moving his mouth because he's got that face. He's got the face of the thing out of the creeping flesh. Do you remember?
Yes.
And
also a bit like the reveal of the witch in Baby in the rocking chair.
Yeah, it's like a wet fiberglass, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, because
they're playing Green Man next summer, I think.
We have wet fiberglass. Yeah, brilliant concept album. I think what is, and again, maybe there's been stuff cut out, etc., but I get the feeling that what the point, the moral of the story is, as we say, we're not supposed to be immortal, but I think they're kind of establishing that, you can't die, but your body will still decay.
Yeah. It did look gross.
That's the twist. But then what's weird is the guinea pig hasn't.
No.
Yes.
They don't keep it consistent.
It's not an ancient guinea pig, is it?
Pig. It's a normal guinea pig.
Maybe
for whatever reason.
Yeah. Any animal like that I've ever had would be covered in tumours. They always seem to get massive lumps all over them as they get older.
God, really?
Right.
Yeah.
What are you doing to it?
Experiments.
Get from Chernobyl.
Keeping them next to a microwave.
Yeah.
So there's the
darkest thing that Cleaver's ever said. When did this happen, Cleaves?
Well, I had 2 gerbils. Rowan had a hap, so they all, as they got older, had and I know other people have had small animals. They always end up having massive growths on them.
Really?
I think Tammy's mice had massive growths all over them.
Ross, what if it's you?
Yeah.
That's like your X-Men style powers.
Yeah,
that
Cleaver's
you
radioactive.
That you kill off household pets.
Yeah. Radioactive farts.
Yeah, there you are. That's probably solved that mystery. So the story has come full circle, and we see that Sir Hugo now virtually, the most crusty of tramps.
Yeah.
As I said at the outset, I remember, when I first saw this film thinking, oh, that's quite impressive. Now when I watched it again, it's not impressive, dear listener, if you watch it. But as I said, he just sort of stumbles out into the road, and then because they can't afford to show you the car crash, they just do the sound effects.
It's just a pause,
of
isn't
the
it?
car crash.
Excuse me, hiccuping. It's a freeze frame.
So was that him being pulled out of the wreckage?
Yes.
Like, oh my God, he's still alive.
And look at this fucking face.
So yeah,
he looks like he's made of sellotape.
Yeah.
So the weird
horror.
I've just thought
where's the guinea pig?
Guinea pig.
Yeah.
Do you reckon the guinea pig has started to sort of like evolve to become intelligent and
maybe
has got rudimental speech over the 100 years he's been alive?
I really liked the inclusion of the guinea pig.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's insanely weird. It reminded me of the end of AI. Have you two seen AI?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, with Teddy.
A long time ago with Teddy and the robot boy. And it just made me think of that, how like when at the end they're like in a glacier, aren't they? And then
they're at the bottom of the ocean.
Under
the bottom of the ocean for a long time.
And then like aliens come and find them.
Well, they're like sentient robots.
Yes.
I think they're like the future evolution of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen that. I
cried so much at the end of that.
Yeah. I saw that in the cinema. I haven't seen it since because it's so vivid in my memory. I don't need to watch it again.
I showed it to the kids that traumatized them quite a bit.
It's
again. That's once again. Tick that off your Witchfinders bingo card at home.
Cleaver scarring his kids,
his children.
Bingo.
Parenting 101 with Ross.
Simon Stone will be stamping on only with his dibber. So yeah, that's the end.
They're back to the same shit music again.
Glendale Productions, which I thought was an interesting name. And I looked up Glendale Productions, that it didn't seem to be very much internet history anymore. No, there was only just a poster for another film that was made by Glendale online. I couldn't find anything else that was like a Wikipedia or anything. So they're no Tyburn Productions or Tygon British or Amicus or even Hammer. So what do we think, fellas?
It's just weird that these films got made, isn't it? But don't know. What did I give it? I found it quite boring.
Did you really?
And
it's not boring. It's far from boring.
Actually,
isn't it?
But you think about it, like
close-ups of screaming faces.
Yeah, but it's also. It has got some different ideas. It's doing something different with it. It's not it's not just repeating the same old stuff again.
Yeah. Like I said, I think this is the key one. If you want to remake anything that we have reviewed, this would, I think, work really well.
If you got rid of the idea of each biological creature has got an asphyx, and as John says, just made it about trying to photograph the spirit.
Yeah.
There's something really cool to be done there, which I still don't think is.
There is a film they've done that.
Vengeful spirits that are coming to get you and then keeping them off in a Victorian setting. I think could work really well, like the Prestige.
Because I remember that I was quite excited and looking forward to. There was a series with Rafe Spall in it where it was like the pitch is. He was like Houdini going around and, kind of showing that psychics are, it's all fraud and debunking them. And then the pitch was, but he's just about to meet the real deal. And I thought, whoa, this sounds good. And I tried watching the first episode. It was so boring and dreadful.
No.
I never got to the end of it.
Yeah,
it was lacking in pace and vigor.
I think this could be redone really well. And I think that the central nugget of the idea is actually really interesting, and it's all about, why would you want to avoid death? Why would you want to die as the flip side of that, etc. I think this, like so many things that we watch, it poses really interesting questions. But then maybe for the last 20 minutes, doesn't do anything about that, has a load of set pieces, and then just finishes. And it doesn't expand upon any of the questions it's asked, which is very odd.
Should our our listener be interested, what I was talking about, I've looked it up. It was a thing called Harry Price, Ghost Hunter.
Oh, yeah. I think I was going to watch that at some point. Yeah.
And the overview says Ghost Hunter Harry Price. Yes, it was, John. And it's now available in this country anyway, in the UK, on Prime Video.
No way.
Apparently. And it says Ghost Hunter Harry Price poses as a medium, conducting seances for unsuspecting families. When his duplicity leads to tragedy, Harry tries to redeem himself by investigating a real haunt. But then, as I said, when I tried watching it, it was not great. It was a missed opportunity again. So I continue to say I think there's a great story there still to be done.
Yes.
Ross, did you find the film that you were?
Yes, it's called Shutter.
Shutter.
And it was originally a Thai film.
Sorry.
And then it was remade.
Oh yeah.
I think I've seen the remake. So
Yes.
Shutter. Just looking at it now. But while I was looking for it, the short film which they said was a remake of this is on. It kept coming up.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good.
Okay.
A newly married couple discovered disturbing ghostly images and photographs they develop after a tragic accident. Fearing the manifestations may be connected, they investigate and learn that some mysteries are left unsolved.
Best unknown.
But that's not set in the Victorian.
No. Yes, I think
that's what I'm saying. I would want a Victorian era.
The setting of this is key. In my mind, I've got it like the bit with David Bowie where he's meant to be, what's his name, Tesla and all that stuff. You want some machinery like that, don't you? Trying to extract the Asphyx rather than literally just a light and a box to keep it in. I think you need some kind of kind of effects.
Yeah, and I like the idea that there's repercussions for doing this. You're not meant to be doing this thing.
No.
Okay, well, you've talked up for me. It's got a 2 now from me. 2 out of 5.
I was just as you guys were talking, just having a quick look at Shutter there. So I was like, okay, I'll look into that. And the IMDb highlighted reviews are as follows: it wasn't that bad. Next one, dull but worth a handful of stars. Next one, another unrelentingly boring horror film. I'm seeing the theme here.
God, the Thai one's meant to be better though. From my
never read reviews of anything. It becomes more about them than a kind of level-headed appraisal of something.
Yes.
Which is
we've just recorded an hour and a half reviewing a film.
I'm here to totally praise it. I'm going to give it a 3.
Yeah. Oh,
great.
Besides all the technical difficulties of watching it, it actually kept me entertained.
Yeah, and I suppose the main 2 guys were really good.
The performances are brilliant in it. There are a few bits where it loses its way because mainly the way that we were having to watch it, you couldn't actually tell sometimes what was happening.
Yeah.
And, what the bit when his fiance drowns, you don't actually really see her die. And then by the end of the film, I was like, what's happened to his wife? And then it's like, oh, actually, she is dead. So, yeah, I'll give it a 3, I think.
Cool.
And what do you think, James?
And a 2 for me.
Oh, see, not too bad. Not too bad.
That's not the worst thing you've seen.
Degrees of nostalgia as to how I first watched it.
Yes.
As we said, a lot of ideas at play here, a lot of our and I like that as we've been watching these films, we're starting to build up this kind of almost headcanon of what are the tropes and the ideas that we're seeing from these films, many of which from the 1970s. Yeah. And it was just, I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, okay, we can build this into the narrative of science running amok, English stately house, woman getting slapped, the usual madness.
It becomes more and more
clip-cloppy horses.
Clip-cloppy shoes as well. It becomes more and more obvious to me the more of these we watch, how mad the British horror boom of the late 60s, early 70s must have been, when literally any week of the year you could probably go to the cinema and watch one of these films if you wanted to. Whereas now, is there anything like that you can think, oh, what's on this week in the cinema?
We were just talking about that. I can't think of anything this year I want to watch now after seeing 20 years.
No.
That's just being old men and being grumpy.
No, but I think that must have been a mad time to work in that industry and also to be a cinema goer, to see, like when one of the weeks that we've done this, Cleves, I'm sure you read out the films from 1971 or 72
Yeah.
And it was just like French Connection, this, that. And it was just like, what the fuck? And now it's just like Wicked 2, etc.
That's my half-star review of the first film I watched this year. It was a half a star one. Letterboxd.
What I'm saying is they don't seem to make films for grown-ups anymore, which don't need to make a shit ton of money.
Me and James going to talk about 28 years later in a minute, and I think that's one of an example where they are doing that.
One film that I really liked, I don't know if either of you have seen it, The Ballad of Wallace Island.
I really want to see it.
It's really good.
Tim King.
Really good.
Yeah.
Made in Wales.
Yes.
And I think that's the kind of film that niche filmmakers should be making for people now that potentially just are going to stream stuff, and you obviate the studios and you just make stuff. As long as there's a way for funding the films, you don't have to get involved with all the Hollywood bullshit, because they're so far removed from anything that's happening in Britain now. It's like the Oscars and stuff now. I just think I have no interest at all anymore. And I don't know who any of the people are. So it's just like, but some small niche films come out, which are quite interesting, I think.
I'm really looking forward to the new Mackenzie Crook series next week.
Oh,
exactly.
Yes.
Have you two watched the new thing with Dawn French?
No.
It's
that Murder Most Horrid?
No. I can't think what it's called, but it is really, really funny.
Okay.
It's absolutely excellent. We were like, no idea what this is. We'll start watching it, and we watched it all in like less than a week. It's really absolutely brilliant. The vicar from this country is in it, James.
Hey, Paul Chadley.
And now follows me on Instagram.
Amazing.
Which blew my mind when he followed me back.
When we're being followed by, what's his name? From McConnell and Butler?
Oh, yes. David McCalmont.
Yeah.
What's his name from McCalmont?
Yeah. I didn't know what his first name was.
Yes. The clue was in the name.
Yeah.
His name is McCalmont.
He's just done a thing with Mark Gatiss.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey.
Okay, so Ian Morgan, one of our patrons, has said that I love the Asphyx so much. It's mad, but really entertaining. I first saw it listed one night back in the late 90s on BBC One, which is probably the same time you watched it, James.
Yeah.
You're watching it at the same time, dude.
Yeah. Eventually watching it the next day, both Robert Powell and Stephenson's take it all so seriously. The scream the Asphyx makes is one of those noises that lives with you forever.
Yes.
Personally, the whole keep your soul trapped, making you immortal is a pretty good idea. And I did use it for the basis of story I wrote a few years back. It definitely works better as a single self-contained movie.
Yes.
I have hated to have had a sequel and can imagine how bad a remake would be now. Admitting two cars driving head on at the end, and Robert Stevens' makeup are quite laughable, but I'd rather watch this and some of the drivel that is churned out today.
Interesting. All right.
Cool. 100%.
So I think we've got to round off with something horrific.
Yes.
Because Ross and I have both seen 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
Yes.
This month. And we said at the time, like Ross said, should we jump on and just do like a special? And I said, no, keep it till we do something horrific. So Ross, what did you think about it?
I found it really hard because I think I went, because we just reviewed 28 weeks later before we went and saw 28 years later.
Yes.
And my expectations were so low going into it. Because we reviewed both of those. I was like so blown away.
So this is the first 28 years later?
No, I'm just giving some context. I'm talking about going to see the first one before.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And I thought that was the best film I saw last year.
It was great. Yeah.
And it blew me away, and I loved it so much. So going into watch the second part, which we went, my expectations were so high.
Yeah.
I came out feeling a little bit flat because I was because I think it's very different. I think it's a very the pace of it is completely different. I feel
totally.
It's and like the main character of is he called Spike, the kid?
Yes.
Yeah. He's almost sidelined, and he all he is someone who's looked scared all the way through it. But but it felt to me that it was almost paced like a 70s film to me, and it made me think of things like which one of it? Dawn Day. It was one of the Dead films. One of the George A. Romero. It gave me vibes of that, and it didn't have quite so much sort of like exciting bits with zombies.
Yeah.
So I still don't know what I feel. I think it was really good, and I'm really glad I watched it, and I'm glad I saw it at the cinema. I thought it's got some. And they keep saying
see
about,
it in the cinema. Go to the cinema and see it, I would say.
And they keep saying it's got the best needle drop moment of and I just thought the music in it was really well done. And but when you think about it, it's like, but just played one track off that record, did it? With no one. Yeah, but it's
what is a needle drop?
As in, like when the soundtrack kicks in. At a particular moment in the dropping the needle on the record.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I'm quite gentle with a needle usually. Is it like a mic drop?
No, it's no. It's more like it.
I just wanted to add, I enjoyed it. I felt I quite liked the whole Spike getting sidelined because it felt a bit more kind of organic, as it were. It's just kind of because people's lives do just go on. And what I felt was, having watched the first one, I felt that Alex Garland had sat down and gone, right, so Ian Kelso, the doctor, Ian Kelso, he is going to be my main character, and I want his arc to be, he is working on a cure. And because the whole thing of the island that, Holy Island, where Spike comes from, that's very backwards looking. That's sort of like the critique of Brexit.
Reform.
Old fashioned, and we're told in that film, like, oh, he's weird, Doctor. Kelso, he's weird,
Science.
He's odd. And then, of course, yes, we learn that in fact he's not weird, he's brilliant, and he's the hero,
and
really,
and he's kind,
and he's kind. And I thought the whole point of this film is, look, it's, even though it looks like an apocalypse, there is still a way back.
Yeah,
there's a way back.
And
there
when
is
you're
hope.
saying this, James, I can really see like this. The other people aren't monsters after all. They're just
and I felt that. So you can see him kind of writing it, saying, "I need to have a big bit of the film with Kelso dealing with an alpha zombie," because they do start calling them zombies in this, don't they? Weirdly enough, after it. And the whole point, and kind of, will they carry on that for the last part that they're making? You can actually cure them. They can be one round.
Okay.
And that, for me, is their storyline is what makes it worth watching.
Yeah.
All of the stuff with the Jimmies, I found like, it's okay. It's very horror. It's very kind of torture.
I was going to say, what's that bit like? Because I do know one of the actors in that part who was in the way.
Oh, interesting.
And it's been all over his Instagram for months, basically.
Well, they're all very good, but it does feel like, to me, their storyline was something that was added as they were developing the whole thing. Watching and thinking about the two films together, it does feel like they just didn't have enough time in part one, or 28 years later, part one, to do everything that. So it's like, right, okay, well, we need to have a film for the Dr. Ian Kelso tries to cure the plague, but that's not enough for an hour and a half film. So we need to bolt something else into it, because then the ending, Ross, felt very like, oh, okay, that's just like, that part of the story has ended, and now, here's this bit.
Yeah.
Does it end on a cliffhanger, or
not really a cliffhanger? Just, it sets up what the story is about to be next,
and it just brings everything full circle.
So there's enough kind of dangling plot threads for to possibly tie it all together, but it would just be intriguing to see what they do next. But again, it's absolutely died at the box office.
Well, I was going to say, if they're not going to make
very well at all.
They're not going to make another if it doesn't make money.
No, they'd already greenlit the next one.
Oh, really?
But this, in comparison to the last, which is really weird.
I think they were saying it was just released too close to it, and I don't think it was trailed enough.
Hell said that.
Yeah,
if you thought about everything they did to when the first one came out, this one just kind of just.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
but I think as comparing the two films, the first one just had so much going on, and that notion of, it said, kind of like it being a critique of Brexit, but at the same time, a cool continuation of, well, what would have happened given another 20, almost 30 years? How does society look?
But I think also the different director, because it's not Danny Boyle in this
Danny
one,
Boyle.
and I think
Yeah.
Danny Boyle just brings that next level of like artistry to it. But like the bit on the when they're running across
They're running
the thing
back,
and all the phosphorescence of the things in the water and stuff, and the music and stuff, and the end of the first one, it just felt more heightened, like artistically done.
Yeah.
Whereas this felt like a low budget British horror movie.
Yeah.
Which is basically back to what it was originally.
Yeah.
But it was also weird seeing the old man out of Detectorist being flayed alive in this one, which was like, oh, I really like that character.
There we are.
But yeah, so watch it. Not as good as 28 Years Later Part 1, but definitely worth a watch. So that's
Will they
that's
make
our
another?
something
Who
horrific.
knows?
Yeah. They said they've greenlit it already, so
They got to
That should
shoot
be
it though,
the-
haven't they? Because they shot
the
these
end.
ages ago, didn't they?
Mm.
They shot these like 3
this
years
next
ago,
one,
I'd say, no?
and I think that alone.
But they can't run it straight on because Spike would be so much older.
Well, that's what I thought. They're
Yeah.
going to have to get on with it.
Yeah.
But I think they could easily say three years later or something
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
Couldn't they?
There we
But
are.
yeah, they're going to have to hurry up because even in the press, I was like, shit, he's growing up really quick.
Yes.
Unless he gets killed straight away. Just
Well,
to do
yeah,
like
I know I do that.
There we are on that bombshell.
Anyway, yes.
Okay, brilliant.
Wonderful.
Well, back up. A happy New Year to everyone.
Hooray!
This is
What?
this is our first one of 2026. It's the
Is
first
it
one.
officially?
yeah.
Yeah, but
Sorry for the delay, people, but once.
and next time, join
Yes.
us for Frankenstein Created Woman.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll see you
Brilliant.
then. Until
Yeah.
then, happy day, everyone.
Love,
All
light,
right,
and
thanks for
peace.
listening, everyone.
You have been listening to The General Witchfinders. Support the show and continue the conversation at patreon.com/General Witchfinders. Subscribe and spread the word at generalwitchfinders.com. Farewell, and don't have nightmares.
At Blinds.com, it's not just about window treatments. It's about you, your style, your space, your way. Whether you DIY or want the pros to handle it all, you'll have the confidence of knowing it's done right. From free expert design help to our 100% satisfaction guarantee, everything we do is made to fit your life and your windows. Because at Blinds.com, the only thing we treat better than windows is you. Visit Blinds.com now for up to 45% off select styles, plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions apply.
Right, it sounds like the delays sorted itself out a bit.
Yes.
Now. Yeah.
You can hear me now. You're not thinking anymore,
No,
please.
not thinking. I try not to do
Don't
it.
think, for
so you-
God's sake.
So you've seen my Jazz.
I beg your pardon?
I'm sure you've seen my Jazz. He's pretty cool. But you said he looks
Yes.
like a BMW.
Well, yeah, he didn't really look like a Porsche, does he?
No, but then today I got my
that's-
the shiny
Oh, look at him.
Optimus
Prime.
Yeah,
Disco Prime.
when he's got like a big like laser axe as well.
Oh,
great.
God. I remember that cover of
Got it.
the comic. I think they're on. Are they fighting on top of a dam?
The Hoover
Him and
Dam,
Megan.
probably.
Yeah, him and Megatron. Megatron. Not Bobby Davro falling on his face.
No, because
Well,
that didn't go out live.
Yeah, and it wasn't a cult unless you believe that that was some kind of ceremony, which we
Divine retribution.
yeah.
Oh, Bobby. Oh, Bobby.
Oh no! Don't touch him! Don't touch him!
What we don't realise, Bobby Davro actually died at that point, and then the Beelzebub
they
took
caught his
over
ass.
his body, and as he was brought back up, that was the reanimated corpse of Davro.
Well, maybe his spirit is caught in like a BBC TV camera in the style of
and if you just reverse it,
Asphyx.
we can blast it out. Yeah.
Just out of interest, I don't know if you guys know, but Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses,
W. Axl Rose,
at the height of his no doubt drugs-related mayhem, he genuinely believed that that's what had happened to Slash. That's why Guns N' Roses stopped recording together for a while, because he believed that Slash had an overdose in a hotel in San Francisco in a lift.
Yeah.
And was dead, in inverted commas, for a couple of minutes and was resuscitated. And Axl Rose believed that he died and that whoever was in Slash was no longer Slash.
Was not Slash.
Yeah.
Good God. Who did he think it was?
I don't know. That's that.
That's
anyway.
mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he wasn't the same after, was he?
No,
Slash?
well, I said that they wouldn't tour together for years and years and years.
Yeah, I remember that. They brought in Buckethead.
That's right. You had the KFC.
What, the guy, the Lord Buckethead? Binhead. Oh, it's Binhead, isn't it?
Binhead.
Count Binface or whatever he's called.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
He's probably going to win that by-election, hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. I'd rather anyone than whoever the Reform have put on for it.
Yeah.
Have you written a car off, did you say, or our car?
A car. Well, one of our cars.
Which is.
Oh, I see. Right. I thought you meant you'd written off someone else's car.
No.
Just like,
no.
What have you done, Cleves?
Well, Beck drove through some water which was a lot deeper than she thought it was going to be.
Oh.
And then
killed it.
Oh. And then it was higher than so it was all coming in around the edge of the door and stuff. Yeah.
Oh dear.
The Kia is no more, we think.
The Kia
Seed.
The Kia Esperanza.
We made a pact, remember? You were to immortalize me. Between us, we killed the woman we loved.
My Asphyx. My Asphyx.
We killed the woman we loved. How am I to expunge my guilt? That may take time. So I must become immortal so that time is mine. You were to immortalize me. How am I to expunge my guilt? That may take time. Time. I only want to atone. I must survive. I must be immortal so that time is mine.
I obey God's will, my friend. My only friend. My eternal and everlasting friend. My companion in immortality. My Asphyx. 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 My Asphyx.
AI is transforming customer service. It's real and it works. And with Finn, we've built the #1 AI agent for customer service. We're seeing lots of cases where it's solving up to 90% of real queries for real businesses. This includes the real-world, complex stuff like issuing a refund or cancelling an order. And we also see it when Finn goes up against competitors. It's top of all the performance benchmarks, top of the G2 leaderboard, and if you're not happy, we'll refund you up to $1 million, which I think says it all. Check it out for yourself at Finn.ai.